Spirit Bus 33. Welcome, fam. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Episode number 18. We only have so much energy in one day, so many hours, in one day. And I wanted to just really, really express my gratitude. Thank you for being a part of my expression. It's a beautiful thing when we take time out and we really, really engage in other people's art expression. It's beautiful and appreciated. Thank you. For those of you listening on Spotify, there's a really cool new feature now. It used to be that I could not respond to comments, and now they have it to where I can. So I'm really excited about that. I hope that you'll leave a comment. I like to engage and with the people that are listening or watching. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So previously on, we were really drawing from Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic. I'm done. We got through it. It's all completed. I kept saying every episode that was almost done, but I did. I finished it. And that's a powerful book. If anyone is interested in creating their own arts, writing a book, really whatever creative expression you have, I highly recommend reading that. It's something that I'm going to keep. I'm going to add it to the books that I read once a year and, keep going through it and then gift it to someone, of course, when my journey with it has ended. But I highly recommend it. I'm now taking a little turn into like a new book that I'll be drawing off of as well as other resources. But this book comes from Sanaya Roman. It's called Personal Power Through Awareness. It's a good one. It's a really good one. So this episode is going to be for the sensitives out there, the empaths, indigo, mystics, my deep feeling homies. This is going to probably be something that you'll relate to. I'll start off with a little quote here from Sanaya. You are like a radio that can receive many stations. What you receive depends on what you pay attention to. So for many of us, we are picking up on a lot of stations out there. We may go out in public and be able to just experience many stations at once. Maybe all of the stations playing at once. Maybe you like to isolate. Maybe you do not want to pick up on all those stations. So you find yourself staying inside more, not going out as often. Maybe you've had a stint or two with self-medicating to try to avoid feeling so deep. Possibly feeling that deep, while it does have a lot of gifts, you've probably picked up on some uncomfortability, perhaps like even some pain. Maybe you pick up on really small details or patterns in people, a slight face expression change. Those can be very beneficial, but then it can also, be a little confusing. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between your own emotion and others' emotions around you. It can get really sticky. What a complex reality that we live in, right? Another quote from Sanaya. In order to be able to choose what station plays, what station you expand, a practice of turning off the current station needs to be cultivated. And I thought that this was so deep, and I just like the way that she words it and uses the analogy of stations. because we have our own station playing. I mean, we probably have multiple stations within ourselves as well, but our primary baseline, so to speak, station is we want to be able to get out of that if needed. So developing practices that kind of help us get into the spaces in between is really important. Now, the things that I talk about here, for me, it's not just about talking. I really do work hard on walking the walk. Like I don't get everything perfect, perfect. Like I'm working on things too. I have my own barriers. I have obstacles. But when I do an episode, I really try to make sure that I'm being authentic and that anything that I suggest, that I'm trying myself first, to kind of see what are the barrier, like what could I bring up that might be able to help people, possibly avoid difficulties that I've experienced. And so this episode took me a little while. I've been working on it longer than typical past episodes because I had an interesting turn of events while working on this. So I was applying. So I've been applying for a couple days when I'm about ready to talk to you about, and I'm also going to talk to you about some conversations I had with some mentors of mine that helped me uh, figure some of those things out. And hopefully, there's something in this that will be helpful for you. Now, if you go ahead and get your own book of that for Sanaya's Romans book, is she has really, really good visualization strategies in there, like really great for you to check out. The version that I have that I was gifted, and when I say gifted, I literally mean that, is that I will receive it from something, and we're all going to have our own interpretation of that. For those of you who are listening, you probably already have gathered or know me personally that I'm pretty spiritual. So when I say gifted, I mean downloads. Like I mean that like my spirit team, source, universe, you know, is gifting me these things. It's not that I'm sitting and really trying to come up with it. Like it's flowing pretty fast. It's not like that I'm hearing voices telling me like what to do. It's like it's more of like a knowing. Of, for any of you, I don't know if the camera is picking up on this, but my cats are having a really good time freaking out about the birds in the window. And that is fun. The birds are visiting. There's a anyway, synchronicity, I digress. So my process of, receiving these downloads is that, I sit in, the space where I do my work, and I often will like call in, like I'm calling in source energy, I'm calling in my spirit team, my animal spirits, entities, beings, this is the language that I'm using, and my ancestors. And then I always have this little clause in there, like, if there's anyone present that, may not have my best intentions in mind or maybe harmful, malicious intent, you're not welcome, leave, and then so when I feel that I've called them in, and I ask, for some guidance, and then it kind of starts flowing through. So I invite you to start practicing or to continue your practice of shifting energy, of like what Sanaya says, of changing the channel. And I think at first, we need to be able to create stillness within. Like we need to be able to tap into that peaceful place, the in between of the stations, so to speak, so that then you can, with intention, choose what to dial into next. So typically for an exercise like this, I would say get into a comfortable place, make sure you have something to drink, sit, comfortable clothing. But for this, I think, anywhere that you are, except for probably don't do this while you're driving, but anywhere that you are, hold on. Not probably. Don't do this while you're driving. If you're driving and listening to this, just listen. Do it later. Um, but for follow your intuition, you know what you need, and uh, yeah, okay. So first, start by visualizing and feeling love, harmony, joy, peace, or perhaps it's the vibration of your belief system. Maybe it's a bright light. Follow your intuition on this part. It can be a swirling energy ball. It can be, bright lights with it. Really get creative on this part. But whatever that is it is something good, healthy, loving. And then start at your feet and have it go all the way up your body. So at first, you're going to feel your toes, and I'm not going to do the whole entire thing. So remember that you'll be doing this on your own at some part, but you're going to start at your toes and you're going to feel them tingle. And then you're going to go to your ankles and up your stomach. You might get distracted. You might start thinking about something else. You bring your awareness back. You're really connecting to your body. You're going up. You're gathering everything that doesn't need to stay, anything that needs to be released. Up. You're kind of at your chest area. You're going up to your crown chakra. And then this ball, however you're visualizing it, is going up into, you pick the word, the divine, to source, wherever that, whatever you want it to be. It's getting cleansed. Everything that was not needed is getting taken out. And as it is coming back down, you're going back down through your body. It's cleansing your aura. It's really doing that nice balancing of all of your chakras, and go all the way back down until you get to your feet. And once you get there, is sit in that stillness and practice being in that state of, just being. So this exercise had a little interesting journey for me that I would like to share, is that, sometimes I find myself being sucked in by other people's channels, so to speak, radio stations, frequencies. And I was going to use this to help return to my station. So I was trying it in real time, of feeling like, kind of a little bit of irritability coming up towards someone else's station and wanting to really get back in mine. But it wasn't really the right practice for the timing. And I talked with my mentor. This is the one time that I'll tell you that one of my mentors is my mom. I won't say that again because I won't say I talked to my mommy, but I did. And for those of you that catch it on here, you're the only time I'm going to say it. But she's very powerful. She's very wise. And she gave me really, really good insight of that. That's a very good practice, to have, maybe in the morning when you're getting ready for the day, or you're clearing off the day, at the end of your day. But that in that moment, of irritability or kind of feeling that, is that that practice just kind of isn't exactly in the right place. And I agree, because it was really hard to focus, kind of like I was doing this like, nod and like conversation, and then like the energy is coming through my body. It's cleansing, and trying to do that to like regulate. And it really wasn't working. So what she did gift me was these to use these powerful words. And I mean, that's what I'm calling them. I don't think that was exactly the name of it, but until I kind of get like a more fun name, which I will probably consult with her on, for a fun conversation, um, is that is speaking these words kind of out loud or internally, and feeling the vibration of the words. So here, let's just practice for a minute. Um, let's think of the word love. So no matter, even if you went into a different room and you're just thinking love, or you're with that person and you're just thinking love, the word love, when you really tap into it, it's got a good vibration to it. Feels good. It has a lot of empathy, has a lot of patience in it. The word joy. I just started like smiling when I said that. Like as soon as I say joy, like it, instant smile. Another word, penguins. Those are fun. They're fun. Green. Maybe the color green. Maybe you like a different color. Kiwi. Trees. Birds. Cats. Books. Water. So be creative, with the words that you have. But I felt like that was really great in the moment. It gave me something to focus on. I was still able to be present, but I had a certain vibration, a certain station to stay on. And so I'd love to hear, if you try that. Um, you can message me, you can leave a comment. I would love to hear like how that works for you. And being mindful through your journey, is if there's something that pops up of like, I can't, is really being aware of language of I can't, language of never, always, this black and white thinking. Again, pay attention to that, is we can adapt things and have a different experience with it. And really get to know what is holding you back for showing up for yourself every day. I recently started working with another mentor, and she told me she was straight. Again, one time I'll mention her and then I won't. I'll just use the word mentors from here on out. But you can check her out on TikTok, Indy 108. Just a bright light, very amazing. But she gave it to me straight, is it's time to face some of these things. It's time to show up for yourself. Something that was really powerful that I would like to share, for those that can hear it is, and this will be for the spiritual minded people, okay, is we are having this earth experience and we have these gifts, right? We have this purpose and we have these amazing, unique, beautiful gifts each of us have. And when we're being destructive, when we're not taking care of our health, if you're engaging in any really risky self-medicating, if you're not hydrating, if you're eating a lot of processed food, if you're too sedentary, the things that we know are not healthy, too much time on your phone, technology, is like we were gifted these amazing, amazing gifts, and so it's kind of like we're mocking source energy of like, so what? You gave me these gifts. Like, I'm going to do what feels good in the moment. And I don't know if that resonates with you, but that kicked my ass into high gear. I do not like the idea of mocking, like this amazing team that I have here that has really protected me, and you, like, whatever your belief system is, like, you're here, you're listening to this, like, you've survived 100% of your hardest days so far. And so that was powerful. But in order to be able to show up for ourselves, like, we can't just say, okay, I'm going to do it. It's like we've got to face some pretty, like, dark shit sometimes. And it's uncomfortable. It's not easy. It's easier to stay still. It's easier to not do the work. I'll read a quote from Brene Brown here is, only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. And that's what we got to do, is we have to go in and really truly understand, why do I show up this way? Why do I go into the kitchen and storm eat? Why do I withhold food, depending on, which area that you're dealing with here? Why do I engage in impulsive, risky behavior? Why do I gossip about people? Is like really observing yourself and seeing, what you're not aligned with. It's you're flowing, and since you've gained this awareness, you're going to get snagged when you're not in alignment. And that's your moral compass. That's there saying, hold up, hold up. You gotta, what's going on here? Well, why are you being fucky? Like, and you have to, like, stop and pay attention to it. And it might be that you need to change your moral compass. It may not mean that you're out of alignment. Maybe you have some conditioning. There's many people that have religious trauma, of getting really stuck in these, like, patterns, from different chapters in their life, where they felt like, oh, if I think independently, I'm going to hell, or whatever it is. And I'm not saying, for anyone that's listening that has the belief system, like any kind of organized religion belief system, as long as you feel aligned with it and you feel good about it and you don't sit in shame, then it's for you. If we really study a lot of the different belief systems, the core of it, a lot of them are very similar. I think they're all homies. All of them. Buddha, Jesus, Krishna. Like, I think they're all friends, and I'm still learning too. That's something that is my part of my healing journey, is like, I'm fine tuning my belief system as well. And I'm fine tuning my practices for my mind, for my body. And we all have, different barriers or different, obstacles to overcome as we start really observing and looking at that dark stuff we got, those trauma responses. And remember, what we think about expands. So if you're hanging out with people and you feel yourself shifting to their frequency, you're on their channel and it does not align, as you practice getting back to your own channel and expand that energy. Us sensitives, us empaths, we can't keep living in other people's stations, frequencies. Our nervous system doesn't even feel good there. Like, why? Learn the lesson and shift it back into your own. And it doesn't mean that you have to say goodbye to the people that live in different channels, stations, frequencies. Some of them you're going to have to say goodbye to. Some of them is you're going to outgrow. You're not going to be able to be around them. It's going to be too painful. And no matter what you do, you cannot make it work. But there's others that they're working hard too. They're working on shifting and evolving and all, so then you can just have good communication about it, or you can just have empathy, and just really sit in your channel while you're observing them in their own channel. You don't need to take it on. You don't need to absorb. All right. So I have this amazing new deck that I got, and another just powerful energy. You can also find her on TikTok and Instagram. Her handle name, I wonder if that's what you say. If there's anyone listening, comment is that I think it's called a handle name. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to get hip. But her name is Soul Painter. Amazing healing vibes through art. Has this amazing deck that she hand painted herself. And also, one thing that I really love about it is that it doesn't come with a book. And so I really like that, because it's really not her trying to be like, I have the answers here, read the description. It is her like, use your own intuitive process, to interpret this for what you need at the time. So I'm going to one card from that, 3 from the Osho Zen deck. And here we go. We'll start with the Osho Zen deck. First card, I did, number 25, 26, 27. We're on the 25th. So first card, Ice-Olation. Perfect for what we were talking about earlier. Is it's okay to isolate. It's okay to go and replenish your energy. Like we all need that. Some of us though are doing it in extreme. Some of y'all need to do it more though. You need to go get your stuff, go get grounded. But some of us are doing it to the point where we have barely any interactions with other people. And maybe other people would benefit from interactions with you. Maybe you'd benefit from interactions with other people. So being careful that you don't turn to that ice-olation, where you're not getting really rigid, really, to where when you do go out, it's really hard for you to even, socialize. The next card is letting go. Letting go of limiting belief systems. Letting go of the fear of what other people think. Letting go of whoever told you that you needed to be small in this world. I am working on that right now. We don't need to show up small. Now, if you feel aligned with you feel like part of your earth experience is having, I don't know, maybe you want to live off grid and in this small little area. I mean, do you, but a lot of people are making themselves small because of insecurities, because somewhere along the line, they got this, misinformation that there was something wrong with you. The last card from the Osho deck, Beyond Illusion. We're going to step through that conditioning. We're going to step through it, and we're going to show up. We're going to show up authentic. We're going to be weird. We're going to walk around with love. We're going to really step into our gifts. We're going to really take care of ourselves. And then from the deck from Soul Painter, which the deck is called Conversations with Souls, the card says Warrior. It takes a warrior to be having this earth experience. Think about that for a minute. Think about this earth experience. Like, we're all just kind of doing our thing, but really think about it for a minute. this is some complex stuff here. Warriors get to come to Earth, get to come to feel this kind of dense vibrations here. You come, you don't even remember who you are, and then you return. Somehow you find your way back, and then you're working on yourself and you're evolving and you're figuring it out again. You got that warrior energy. Don't let anyone tell you they don't. It's time to step into it. Whatever that looks like for you is to shine bright, light workers. Okay, well, thank you so, so, so much. I appreciate that. You're here. For those of you that made it all the way through, I'm very grateful. You got a seat on the bus. Thank you.